The Nigerian Customs Service (NCS) has announced the dissolution of its Joint Border Patrol Team (JBPT). The Public Relations Officer of the NCS, Abdullahi Maiwada, in a statement on Tuesday said the decision was made after due consultation with the Office of the National Security Advisor. The House of Representatives had, on December 11, mandated its committees on Customs and Excise Defense to investigate the operations and activities of the NCS across the nation's borders over alleged complicity in aiding smuggling and involvement in brutality against Nigerians. The committees were also directed to examine the role of military personnel attached to customs patrols in order to ensure their operations comply with legal frameworks and human rights standards. The resolutions followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance by Rep. Ceci Wingan, who alleged that rather than prevent smuggling, recent reports showed that customs personnel across the borders were aiding and abetting smuggling. The customs spokesperson explained yesterday that the dissolution of the Joint Border Patrol Team was part of the NCS efforts to strengthen border management and reinvigorate its 2025 enforcement strategy. I don't know if both of you are aware about the smuggling situation and the harassment that people actually face at the border. We just talked about a situation, that about this whole rice distribution. Sometimes, let's say the government, they talked about the one that the government has released into the states, are to be distributed, and then you said about the one that has not been brought into river states. Let's say that there's a case where there was a situation at the border in the country, and then the custom personnel have to lay hold of this things. There was actually a scenario where these custom officials, most of this substandard contraband products that they were held of, that they got hold of, they decided to sell them. Oftentimes they sell them, and sometimes when goods are released for, when there was about in people with disability, there was a time that the government actually got rice for people with disability in Sokoto, or one of the northern states, if I'm not mistaken. And these custom officials held these products, these palliatives that were released, and did not release them. There's been cases of personal human harassment at the border. There's been cases of corruption, taking money from people that bring in contraband goods into the country, allowing them past the border. There's been cases, the smuggling situation, there's been lots of issues that have been going on. And then we have the Nigerian Customs Service has disbanded the Border Patrol Team, to stop these allegations that has been going on about smuggling. But I would love to ask you quickly, Dr. Ikie, what is your thoughts about this? Do you think the disbandments will actually curb the issue of smuggling in the country at the borders spots?
Well, I think what the Nigerian Custom is trying to do is to take responsibility in the allegations towards them. So that if we are saying we are aiding smuggling, whereas we have joint task force, then your allegation may not be very fair on us. So let it be that this joint task force is no longer in existence, so that anything that happens around our borders, which is our sole responsibility and mandate as a service, can, be directly alleged to us, and we can also take responsibility. So I think that's part of it. And again, on the issue of smuggling is an illegal way of bringing products. That's why it's even smuggling. And the custom is in their responsibility to ensure that it doesn't go through that way, that the product being brought into Nigeria comes through the right certification. Now, part of the challenges, like you talk about the Sokoto one, there are borders close to Sokoto, and sometimes they are trackable. So the fact that you bought the rice either in Niger that is closer to you, or one of these African brothers or countries, that you can put it in a vehicle and bring, is meant for people with disability. The fact that the process was illegal, it does not make it legal, despite whoever that owns it. And you agree with me that the issue of bringing foreign rice is not very much too legal. So if you bring a product that is not legitimate, that is not acceptable here right now, and the custom accosts it, there's no way that the law gives them the prerogative after a certain time to option those products, right? So they have the right to option it.
Okay.
Yes, the government gives them that right. So, and when it is optioned, the resources are given to the federal government.
Okay.
So I think that what we should be appealing right now is that the Nigerian custom should continue to be alive to her responsibilities, and then smugglers, we should, avoid this issue of smuggling. It is very risky. You can die, during smuggling a product. It doesn't worth it. So I want to also feel that the Nigerian custom should continue to do the needful, and let us keep on supporting them, and let us also stop smuggling.
Okay, thank you so much on that. Dr. Kene, please, I'd love to get your thoughts about this story. What do you have to say? Sorry.
Okay, first for me is to reiterate the importance of border security for any nation. Border security is very, very, very important for a country. Any country that cannot man its borders is a joke, especially in modern times, because you can have all sorts of problems because of porous borders. The one that have become very visible is allegations connected to people coming from outside to vote during elections. But what about crime? What about bringing in substandard products? What about denying the government of legitimate revenue from bringing in goods through the right sources?
Okay.
So border security is very, very important. And any effort that is geared towards doing the right thing at the border and making sure that people do not just cross the border of the nation without proper checks and proper identification is in the right direction. Okay. Another thing that also appears to excite me a little about the news is the involvement of the House Committee. If their activities and oversight functions have played any role in this direction, then that is very, very commendable. We expect more of that because that is what should happen in a democracy, that the legislature, through their oversight activities, are able to influence what is happening on the executive side by having some influence on their operations and helping to curb their excesses. So that is very welcome. Now, whether it was something initiated by the Nigerian Customs Service or it was because of the inquisition and interest from the House Committee, if it contributes in any form to overhauling the border security, then that's good. Because for a long time, in fact, the border service have acquired that kind of notoriety that is associated with the police, rightly or wrongly, with respect to what they do and how they do it, and how they have become almost symbols of corruption. So that might not be correct in all the cases or in all the posts, but they need to do more. They need to do more to clean up that because of the sensitivity of their role for the economy and for the safety of the nation. So that's something in the right direction.
Thank you on that, Dr. Kene. But I would like to ask a quick question here. I would like to throw it out. The issue of corruption it's been an unending, question that we do not know how, when, and how it's to be sorted out. This issue of the Nigerian custom deciding to disband the border patrol, do you think that this decision is something that would aid a result that this issue of smuggling will not continue do you think that it will aid that results that they want to get?
In the best airports and the best border patrols all over the nation, all over the world, smuggling is an ongoing activity. Even for the U.S. with all their sophistication, the U.S.-Mexico border, it records series of incidents of smuggling every day. The more the agencies up their game in trying to prevent smuggling, the smugglers also change their pattern. So it's an ongoing thing. It's like wearing a shirt and not expecting it to be dirty.